Allow me to recognize representatives of the Joint Protective Services Housing Committee seated in front. Can we all give them a round of applause? Also, the Managing Director and staff at the HDC, all you housing recipients, members of the media, good morning and welcome to the city of San Fernando, those of you who are visiting from afar. I'm always happy to be present at these housing distribution ceremonies and share these very joyous moments with you all, as it allows me to see the impact that the housing policy has on citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. This policy seeks to ensure that our low and middle income families are able to receive quality, affordable shelter to be able to improve their quality and standard of living for them and their families. Today, you, the selected recipients, would receive packages and keys to your new homes. As DK said, these packages may signify different things to different people, but overall, I believe they are received with a deep sense of satisfaction and accomplishment because it represents great success in your efforts to secure affordable shelter for you and your families. We at the Ministry of Housing of Urban Development and the HDC view the distribution of these homes as opportunities for new beginnings for you, the housing recipient. These are the fruits of good, solid public policy. On assuming duties as minister in March 2016, I committed from that day onward that I will make every effort to fix what had gone wrong in the system so that when I leave the ministry, I would have left it in a better place than I found it. Last week, I spoke about the injustice that occurs in the public housing sector, where it is an open secret that HDC tenants are subletting their housing units, earning huge profits at the expense of persons who desperately seek affordable housing and shelter. I say again that this contravenes our housing policy and directly breaches the terms and conditions of the agreements between you, the tenant, and the HDC. This injustice must stop, and I will continue to work to ensure that this practice does stop under my tenure as Minister of Housing. Another practice that the HDC is making every effort to eradicate is the practice of the illegal occupancy of its housing units. The occupation of vacant housing units without the permission of the HDC is unlawful, and there is very little by way of mitigating circumstances that can justify such unlawful behavior to the disadvantage of law-abiding citizens who wait lawfully and patiently on the housing application database. The state cannot and will not encourage the reward or allow persons to benefit from illegal and unlawful behavior. And let me just repeat that again. The state cannot and will not encourage the reward or allow persons to benefit from illegal and unlawful behavior, because to do otherwise, the state will be contributing to the lawlessness that we see in society today. And as I say that, I pay particular attention to today's very timely front page headline and report in the Guardian newspaper. The photograph tugs at all our heartstrings, but the report is extremely narrow and focused only on the HDC as the panacea to all social ills. What the report does not do is ask the following very pertinent questions. 1, where is the children's authority and what is their position on this matter? Why were those children not placed in safe shelter if their parents are not able to provide for them? And the second question is, we have a Ministry of Social Development with social workers and shelters across Trinidad? Did social workers visit? And what was the outcome of those visits? And was shelter offered in this case? The report, like many others, continued to narrowly focus on the HDC and the giving of a house as the panacea, the cure-all for all social ills, without wanting to embarrass anyone. In that case, after an initial deposit was made, not a month's rent was paid to the HDC. And I don't want to embarrass anyone, but it's just another indication that there are so many more problems to be addressed in these cases than just the giving of a house. However, the HDC will revisit the matter and see how best it can bring assistance to that family. But to reiterate the position, the giving of a house is not the panacea or the cure to all social ills in this country. To make another point and to compound this illegal occupation situation, we are also seeing a new practice as has been occurring in Clifton Towers in Port of Spain, where the criminal gang element is entering these developments and chasing out bona fide tenants using tactics of intimidation and violence. In the case of Clifton Towers, the joint police and army effort would have evicted the illegal occupiers on at least 3 occasions. And they continue to return, which is itself indicative of a breakdown in law and order that we must restore. Had the opposition voted with the government to pass the anti-gang legislation last Wednesday in Parliament, this would have at least allowed the police, in this case, to charge those gang members with more substantial offenses. But for reasons best known to them, the opposition refused to support this piece of legislation. The HDC will continue to play its part in engaging the law enforcement agencies to ensure that this type of terror discontinues. This is now a police matter, and we will support them accordingly. I call on all law-abiding citizens to report any possible illegal activity that you observe in your community so that action can be taken in a timely manner. The security unit of the HDC will continue to conduct audits to determine where such acts are occurring and treat with them accordingly in tandem with the state's law enforcement agencies. In the Senate last Tuesday, I was called upon by Senator Richards to answer a question on the number of vacant units found between the period September 2015 and October 2017. The answer to the question was, when we came into office in September, we met 1,200 vacant units. Vacant, unoccupied units, sometimes vandalized units. By October 2017, the number, as I close, please accept my best wishes to you and to your families for a very safe and enjoyable Christmas and a 2018 that is prosperous and productive for you all. My appreciation is also extended to members of the media who always attend these ceremonies to cover them, and to the teams from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development and the HDC, and to our service providers who come here to inform you about their services. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for the opportunity to address you, and I wish you a beautiful Saturday. Thank you.